What up, all my fight fans? So, I want to talk to you guys about something. What is going on with this whole Francis Ngannou, Jon Jones, and Stipe Miocic fight that's supposed to be happening or supposedly gonna happen December? There have been talks of Francis Ngannou saying that he could return early 2023. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that we are going to be able to move on and move forward with Jon Jones and Stipe, or are they going to decide to wait? That right there to me is just a little I don't know, it feels fishy to me. It really does feel fishy to me because it's just like, why is it that we are waiting this long? What's going on, and what makes it seem to me more fishy is nobody is talking, nobody's doing interviews, nobody's letting it out there like, hey, I want to fight this person, or hey, I mean, we do hear Jon Jones speak a lot. We do hear Jon Jones talking about how like he does want to fight and how he does want to do this and this and that, and like he's ready to go. And then there was all these rumors about him versus Stipe, and then I remember hearing something about Stipe needing more time. To be honest with you, my thing is, dude, you have not fought since March of 20, what was it, 2021? How much more time do you need? Like, good God, man, it's like we're almost at that 2 year mark. Like, dude, let's go, let's get in there. And Jon Jones has not fought, but he said he's ready to go. He's ready to do this. He's ready to start, getting back in the octagon because he has not fought since 2020 February against Dominic Reyes, if I'm correct. So, and now we all know what happened to Francis. Francis hurt his knee. He was in this big old crazy dispute with the UFC. Then he wins. He continues to hold on to his strap against Cyril Gahn in January of this year, 2022. Yeah, so now he's been gone. He said he's fully recovered. Then, of course, there's this whole speculation about a possible boxing match with Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, and Tyson Fury. So there's that now as well. So now we're just like, what are we really doing here? What's really going to happen? What are we really going to go for? Because the UFC Heavyweight Championship has not been fought for since the beginning of this year. So, what's the holdup? Why are we having an interim belt? Why are we waiting for Francis Ngannou to come back? I want Francis to fight. I want to see him fight. My go-to fight is to see him versus Jon Jones. But yet, we have not got that. And, it's no rush for Francis. I want him to come back healthy. I want him to come back 100% strong, ready to go, ready to do things. Let's do this. But for the time being, let's let, the rest of the UFC heavyweights figure this thing out. We just had that unfortunate ending with Curtis Blades and Tom Aspinall. Now we got this big fight coming up on Saturday, tomorrow, September 3rd, with Tai Tuivasa and Cyril Gahn. So, the heavyweight division is moving along. We just don't have a championship ready to go. And Stipe, great champion, definitely Hall of Famer, best heavyweight of all time. That if you're not ready to go, let's let one of these other guys slide in there. Like, all right, cool. You're not ready. Here comes September 3rd. Winner of this fight, boom, Jon Jones. Francis Ngannou, unfortunately, if he's not ready, then let's do at least an interim fight. Let's let Jon Jones get in there and start fighting for this thing. My more important thing is I want to know what's the holdup. Like, why did we have to wait this long? Especially if it was Stipe saying like, oh, well, you know what, I'm not ready yet. Well, then you know what? The ball needs to move on. Like, here you go. Jon Jones, Tai Tuivasa. He just came off the big win against Derek Lewis. Time to move. Time to move. I know it sounds like a dickhead thing to do because Stipe is a legend. Stipe is, definitely one of the greatest heavyweights of our time. But we can't just keep this belt, held. We can't keep this under wraps. And I know what they also want to do. Like, this is Jon Jones' first time at heavyweight. So he could get slept by a Derek Lewis, by a Tai Tuivasa, by a Tom Aspinall, because let's just say hypothetically that Jon Jones doesn't come in like the Jon Jones. Let's not forget, he always fought a light heavyweight. He's never fought a heavyweight before. And he has never, ever fought anybody as strong as a heavyweight before, regardless of how DC was a very, very small heavyweight. Very small heavyweight. Regardless if he trains what heavyweights, that don't mean anything. You look at every single UFC fighter out there, a lot of them train with heavyweights, and a lot of them still weren't able to handle some of the power and the strength of some fighters they fought. It happens. Training and in the octagon are two different things. So nonetheless, with that being said, Jon Jones has not also fought in almost 3 years. So of course, do we want to really take that chance of him going his first time at heavyweight and going up against somebody like a Derek Lewis, like a Tai Tuivasa, who hits really hard? Or do we want to go against a Curtis Blades, who is also a really good wrestler and also does hit hard himself and also a heavyweight? You know, like we all think of Jon Jones as the GOAT. Some of us do. Me, George St. Pierre, all the way, 100% still. But Jon Jones is still one of the greatest of all time. And Jon Jones, we think of maybe Jon Jones is going to go in there as the Jon Jones we remember him. But we don't know. No. This is, again, first time ever at heavyweight. First time ever dealing with bigger guys who hit harder, who are just as strong, if not stronger than he is. And a big layoff. Like 2.5 years, almost 3. If they do decide to wait until December, which more likely that's what's going to happen, or January, that is literally almost 3 years gone. You know, and I would rather choose just like what they're trying to do now with the Stipe, with this Francis. More likely, I feel it's going to be Francis. Why? Because why wait for interim? Francis is already coming back. Interim is for when guys are like, if they would have did this fight in September, you know, this fight right there with Nate Diaz coming up, if they would have added this in there, that would definitely be an interim fight. For sure, 100%. Because there's no point in doing an interim in December and you got Francis Ngannou who's already fresh and ready to come back. Like, let's savor this Jon Jones thing for Francis. And unfortunately for Stipe, again, he wasn't ready. He got pushed aside, or I'm not sure what the situation really is. You know, these were all just speculations. We could actually hear, I wish we could actually hear from Stipe. You know, Stipe doing interviews, Stipe talking about like, hey, you know what? I did want to fight this in July, in August, in September, and they kept putting it off. Who is to really blame on why the heavyweight championship or the interim heavyweight championship is not being fought sooner than it is now? We already know the answer for Francis. There's no need to go into that. We want to know why it hasn't been fought now. And what's going on? Is it going to be fought even at all this year? You know, who is going to be the headliner for UFC in December? You let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.